They fear your next move, and deep down you know why. Stay with me, because what you'll hear today will confirm the strength you've been carrying all along. They fear your next move because deep down, they know it will change everything. Every step you've taken so far has been watched, studied, even underestimated. But what they cannot see is the depth of preparation that has been taking place within you. That is why you have felt hidden, overlooked, or even doubted. It wasn't rejection, it was alignment. You've been carrying something so powerful that even before you act, the thought of what you could do next has already unsettled them. This is the reason you've felt resistance, the reason you've been misunderstood, the reason you've walked through storms that seemed unnecessary. It was all preparation for this moment, where your next move will shake the ground around you. Think about how many times they've tried to keep you small. Words spoken to break your confidence. Circumstances arranged to delay your progress. People whispering about you behind closed doors, hoping to weaken your belief in yourself. Yet here you are, still standing, still moving, still ready. That alone terrifies them, because no matter what they tried, they couldn't stop you. And now you stand on the edge of something they cannot control, something too powerful to silence. Fear is not just about what you've done. It's about what you're about to do. They've seen glimpses of your strength, pieces of your wisdom, sparks of your light, and that was enough to make them uneasy. But what they sense now is different. They feel that your next step will not just be another moment, it will be a turning point. And that is why the pressure has been heavier, why the challenges have been fiercer, why the attacks have been more personal. It's not random, it's reaction. The weight of your next move is already pressing against the world around you, and they can't help but tremble. But here's what you must remember. Your strength has not been built in comfort, but in struggle. Every setback was training your resilience. Every delay was sharpening your patience. Every loss was teaching you wisdom. So when the world fears your next move, it's not because of luck. It's because you've been prepared in silence. You carry scars they know nothing about, victories they've never seen, and a fire they cannot extinguish. Now is the moment to trust yourself fully. Stop doubting your timing. Stop questioning your worth. The reason they fear your next move is because they already know you're equipped to win. And when you step into what's next, you won't just rise. You'll rise in a way that proves every whisper, every doubt, every obstacle was powerless against you. Your next move is not just a step forward, it is the unveiling of who you've always been. They fear your next move because they know it will reveal the truth they've been trying to bury. They sense it in your silence, they feel it in your resilience, and they watch nervously as you rise even after every attempt to pull you down. This fear isn't based on what you've shown them so far. It's rooted in what they can't control, your ability to transform pressure into power. Every time you survive what should have broken you, you confirm to them that their efforts are useless. And now, as the weight of destiny aligns, they realize your next step won't just protect you, it will expose them. Before we go deeper, pause for a moment. This is the space where intention meets manifestation. I invite you to write your most sincere wishes in the comments and add the number 777 beside them. This is not about superstition. It's about alignment, clarity, and energy. By declaring what's in your heart, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready to step into what belongs to you. Subscribing and staying with this channel ensures you don't miss the confirmations that are waiting to meet you, because just like your next move, they are closer than you think. Now think about this. If your life wasn't significant, no one would care about your steps. If your presence wasn't powerful, they wouldn't be so uneasy in your silence. The very fact that you've faced resistance is proof that you matter. that your influence has already shifted the atmosphere before you even fully stepped into your role. They don't fear your past mistakes or your current challenges. They fear the future impact of your decisions. And that's why your next move is so critical. It holds weight beyond your imagination, shaping not only your journey, but also the lives of those who are connected to you. Listening in this moment is everything. The signs have been whispering to you through conversations, through opportunities, through moments of peace that arrive unexpectedly. Pay attention to them. They're not coincidences. They're confirmations guiding you toward the step that will change everything. The opposition you've faced wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to highlight the power of what you're carrying. Because when you finally step forward, the light you release will be undeniable. So don't shrink back now. This is not the time to second-guess yourself or downplay your strength. You've been forged in struggle, refined in silence, and prepared for this moment. Your next move doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be intentional. And when you make it, the same ones who feared it will be forced to admit the truth. You were unstoppable all along. They fear your next move because it carries the weight of every struggle you've survived. You've walked through seasons that would have ended others, yet somehow you've emerged stronger, sharper, and more determined. That unsettles them because they've seen your resilience firsthand. They threw storms at you, but you stood. They whispered lies about you, but you rose. And now, when you take your next step, it won't just be another move. It will be a statement that proves nothing they tried could stop you. Think about this carefully. People don't fear what they can predict. They fear what they can't control. That's why your silence has made them nervous. That's why your patience has confused them. That's why every time you've chosen peace instead of chaos, it rattled them. Because they don't know what's coming, but they know it's coming. They've watched you prepare. They've seen you rebuild yourself in private, and now they can sense that the unveiling is near. Your next move will not be ordinary. It will be decisive, and it will carry the weight of destiny. The fear they carry is rooted in recognition. They recognize the fire in you, even if they pretend not to. They recognize the strength you carry, even if they dismiss it with words. They recognize that you've been set apart, even if they refuse to say it aloud. And recognition always births fear in those who are not prepared to see you rise. This is why they may attack your character, spread doubt, or try to distract you. It's all an attempt to keep you from stepping into the very thing they know they can't stop once it begins. Listening now is vital. If you've noticed, the signs around you are intensifying. Opportunities are beginning to align, conversations are carrying more weight, and even your inner world feels more alive with direction. That's not random. That's alignment. You are standing in a threshold season where one move will shift everything. And while others are afraid of what you'll do, you must trust the process enough to act boldly. Your hesitation only feeds their hope. Your action will shatter it. This is why the opposition has grown louder recently. Whenever destiny is close, distractions multiply. Whenever breakthrough is near, resistance intensifies. But these are not signs of failure. They are signals of arrival. If your next move didn't matter, you wouldn't be facing this level of pressure. The storm you're in is not proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're carrying something powerful enough to be feared. And that is why you must keep moving. Your story has never been ordinary. Every scar you carry is proof of resilience. Every tear you've shed has watered the soil of your destiny. Every closed door was guiding you to the one that's about to open. And when you step through it, your next move will not only elevate you, it will silence every doubt, every whisper, and every attempt to stop you. Because in the end, they never feared who you were. They feared who you were becoming. And now, that moment has arrived. They fear your next move because it carries a power they cannot match. They sense that once you act, nothing will ever return to the way it was. They know your strength is not built on surface appearances. It's been carved in silence, tested in storms, and proven in battles no one else even saw. That kind of strength cannot be faked, and it cannot be taken. This is why your next step feels dangerous to them, because they know it is backed by truth, endurance, and destiny. Think of all the times you felt delayed. Every pause in your journey seemed frustrating, but those pauses were preparing you for precision. While others rushed ahead and wasted their energy, you were forced to wait, to learn, to sharpen your focus. Now that you're stepping forward, you're not just moving randomly, you're moving with accuracy. And that accuracy terrifies them. Because when you finally take your next move, it won't be scattered. It will strike exactly where it needs to, and the ripple will be undeniable. They fear your next move because it exposes what they've tried to hide. Your growth reveals their stagnation. Your clarity uncovers their confusion. Your resilience highlights their weakness. Every time you rise, it forces them to face the reality that they cannot stop you, no matter how hard they try. They may mock you, they may doubt you, they may even try to block your path. But the more they do, the clearer your destiny becomes. The very resistance they use against you only proves your importance. Listening in this moment is critical. Destiny whispers, not shouts. It guides you through subtle confirmations, through words that resonate, through doors that open unexpectedly, through peace that surpasses confusion. You are being guided toward a step that will change everything, and the fear others carry is only evidence that you're on the right path. Do not let their fear become your hesitation. Their fear is not your problem. It's your proof. Remember this: if they weren't afraid, it would mean your presence carried no weight. But the fact that they react, resist, and worry about what you might do next means your very existence is already shaking the ground. Your silence speaks volumes. Your patience builds pressure. And when you finally move, the release will be impossible to ignore. That is why the pressure has been heavy. It's the buildup before the breakthrough. The truth is, your next move isn't just about you. It's about everyone who's connected to your story. When you step forward, others will find the courage to do the same. When you break through, others will realize their own chains can be broken. When you win, others will see that survival can turn into triumph. This is why your life has felt heavy. It carries meaning beyond your own victories. And this is also why they fear it, because your rise doesn't just shift you, it shifts the atmosphere around you. So don't hesitate, don't second guess, don't shrink yourself to ease their fear. What they fear is exactly what you were born to do. Your next move is not a threat, it's a promise. A promise that every struggle you've endured will finally make sense. A promise that every delay was worth it. A promise that nothing can erase what destiny has written for you. They fear your next move because it's the one thing they cannot stop. And soon, you will see why their fear has always been the loudest confirmation of your power. They fear your next move because it represents everything they tried to prevent. They see you standing after storms that should have broken you. They hear your voice even after they tried to silence it. They watch you glow even after they tried to dim your light. And the truth that terrifies them most is this: if you have come this far, then what comes next is unstoppable. Your entire journey has been preparing you for this moment. Every time you thought you were delayed, you were being refined. Every time you thought you were forgotten, you were being protected. Every time you thought you lost, you were actually being redirected. None of it was wasted. The strength you carry now is not something that appeared overnight. It was earned through battles, tears, and persistence. That's why your next step carries a force they cannot stand against. It is built on foundations they cannot see, and that invisible preparation is what unsettles them the most. Think about how often they've misjudged you. They thought your silence meant weakness, but it was strategy. They thought your patience meant surrender, but it was discipline. They thought your setbacks meant defeat, but it was redirection. At every turn, they misunderstood you because they were only watching the surface. But you were being shaped below the surface, in places they couldn't access. And now, when you rise, they will realize they never truly understood the depth of who you are. Listening now is vital, because this season demands focus. Distractions will come, whispers will rise, and doubts will try to invade your thoughts. But you must stay aligned. Pay attention to the subtle confirmations, the sudden peace in your spirit, the opportunities that arrive without force, the clarity that cuts through confusion. These are your signals, showing you that you are moving in alignment with what has always been written for you. And when you listen, you will know exactly when and how to make your next move. They fear your next move because it strips away their illusions. For so long, they convinced themselves that they had power over you. They thought they could define you, limit you, or control your outcomes. But when you rise, it proves that their power was always an illusion. The truth is, they never had the authority to stop you. They only had the ability to distract you. And once you stopped listening to their noise, you reclaimed the strength that was always yours. This is why your next move is so important. It's not just another step forward. It's the revelation of everything you've been carrying in silence. It's the unveiling of the strength you earned when no one was watching. It's the proof that the weight you carried wasn't in vain. And when you step into it, their fear will only grow, because it confirms that nothing they did could rewrite what destiny had already written. So hold your head high, move with intention, trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that the timing of your life is perfect. They fear your next move because it's the moment they can no longer deny what's been true all along. You were chosen, prepared, and destined to rise. They fear your next move because it represents the unknown, and nothing unsettles people more than what they cannot predict. They have tried to study you, label you, and even box you into categories that never fit. Yet every time they thought they understood you, you surprised them with resilience they did not anticipate. That unpredictability is your greatest strength, and it terrifies them, because they know that once you decide to act, your move won't just affect you. It will ripple out, shifting dynamics they thought were secure. Consider the seasons of silence you've endured. Those quiet stretches of time, when it felt like nothing was happening, were actually some of your most powerful seasons. While others thought you were stagnant, you were being sharpened. While they assumed you were done, you were only preparing. Silence has been your secret weapon. It forced you to listen inwardly, to tune in to signals others ignore, and to build clarity in the midst of uncertainty. That's why your next move carries a weight they cannot handle. It's not rushed, it's refined. It's not reactionary, it's intentional. And that intentionality is why it will shake everything around you. They fear your next move because it forces them to confront their own limits. Watching you rise exposes their lack of growth. Seeing you stand firm highlights where they waver. Every time you overcome, it reminds them of the battles they surrendered to. And that reflection is uncomfortable. It's easier for them to try to keep you down than to face the reality of their own choices. But your life was never meant to make others comfortable. Your journey was meant to reveal what is possible when resilience, faith, and purpose align. The opposition you've faced is not proof of your weakness. It is proof of your significance. If you carried nothing of value, no one would resist you. If your next move meant nothing, there would be no fear attached to it. But the fact that resistance has been so consistent is the loudest confirmation you could ever need. You matter. Your decisions matter. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. And that's why they try so hard to distract, discourage, or derail you. But distractions only have power if you give them attention. And you've learned that lesson well. This is also why your preparation has been so rigorous. You've carried battles that others can't imagine, not because you were unlucky, but because you were chosen to carry more. Your scars are not evidence of failure. They are evidence of survival. They are proof that you've been through fires and storms, yet you remain standing. And the strength forged in those fires is exactly what makes your next move unstoppable. You are not moving as the same person you once were. You are moving as someone who has already proven they cannot be broken. Listening in this season is crucial. Destiny rarely shouts, it whispers, and those whispers have been guiding you through subtle confirmations. A word from a stranger that feels too precise to ignore. An opportunity that arrives at the exact moment you needed it. A peace in your spirit that contradicts the chaos around you. These are not coincidences. They are signs. Signs that the time for your next move is near, and that the preparation has not been in vain. The very alignment of these moments is why fear is rising in those who watch you. They know what you are about to do will change everything, even if they can't explain how. Remember, they don't fear your past. They fear your potential. They fear the version of you that is emerging now, the one who is no longer held back by doubt, fear, or insecurity. They fear the clarity in your eyes, the strength in your voice, the courage in your steps. Because they know that once you act with full confidence, nothing will be able to stop the momentum. And when that momentum builds, their illusions of control will shatter. So, as you stand on the edge of your next move, don't hesitate. Don't let their fear infect you. Let their fear serve as confirmation that you're aligned, prepared, and unstoppable. Your next move will not just be about progress. It will be about revelation. It will reveal who you truly are, what you've carried all along, and why you could never be defeated. And when it happens, the world will no longer ask if you are capable. They will only ask how you did it. They fear your next move because they know it carries the fire of every storm you've survived. They can sense it in the way you walk now, more grounded, more steady, more unshakable than before. They hear it in the way you speak with clarity and conviction that no longer seeks their approval. They see it in your eyes, the quiet confidence of someone who has endured too much to ever be shaken again. And this unsettles them deeply because it means the power they once thought they had over you is gone. Your next move is not just another step. It's the culmination of everything you've endured. Every sleepless night, every broken piece, every lesson carved out of pain has been building to this moment. And that's why they watch you so closely now, studying your every silence, fearing the weight of your every choice. Because they know once you act, it won't just shift your life. It will shift the atmosphere around you. People will notice. Doors will open. Chains will break. And those who tried to hold you back will be exposed for what they are. Think about how many times you should have been finished. Times when the loss felt too great. Times when the betrayal cut too deep. Times when the delay seemed too long. Yet here you are, still rising, still moving, still preparing. That survival alone terrifies them. Because if you could endure all of that and still stand, then your next move must carry something greater than they can imagine. They don't fear your past struggles. They fear your future victories. This is why their behavior toward you has been inconsistent. One moment, they try to draw near. The next, they push you away. One day, they try to flatter you. And the next, they attempt to discredit you. It's not because they're confused about who you are. It's because they're conflicted about what you represent. You remind them of strength they don't have, resilience they didn't cultivate, faith they didn't choose. And instead of learning from your example, many would rather fear you, because fear is easier than growth. But here's the truth. Their fear is not your burden to carry. You were not placed here to make others comfortable. You were not designed to shrink yourself so others wouldn't feel threatened. You were not called to silence your voice to protect their insecurities. You were created to rise, to shine, to move boldly into what has always been written for you. And the fear they feel is only confirmation that you're stepping into alignment with your true purpose. Listening in this season has never been more important. The whispers of destiny are louder now, showing up in unexpected conversations, unusual confirmations, and quiet moments of clarity. You know you're not imagining it. You know these aren't coincidences. You can feel the pull of alignment, the sense that everything you've been waiting for is closer than it's ever been. And that pull is what makes your next move so vital. Don't ignore it. Don't delay it. Because when you act, the very fear they've carried will turn into undeniable proof of your strength. Remember, they fear your next move because it represents a future they cannot control. But you don't need their control. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. What you carry is greater than their doubts, louder than their whispers, stronger than their resistance. And when you finally make your move, their fear will no longer matter, because the victory will speak louder than anything else. So hold your ground. Walk forward with courage. Trust that your preparation has been enough. You are stepping into a chapter where fear no longer dictates your steps. Clarity does. And as you rise, they will realize what you've known all along. Your next move was always destined to shake everything that stood in your way. They fear your next move because it is no longer a question of if you will rise. It is only a matter of when. They have seen enough to know that every attempt to stop you has failed. Every trap designed to catch you has turned into a lesson that strengthened you. Every delay they hoped would break your spirit only sharpened your determination. And now, as you stand on the threshold of a new chapter, the reality is undeniable. Your next step carries more weight, more clarity, and more power than anything you've done before. This is not the same version of you that once doubted every choice. This is not the same person who questioned their worth or waited for others to validate their path. No, this is a new version of you, one refined by storms, built by silence, and elevated by resilience. They fear your next move because they finally realize they no longer have access to the insecure version of you they once manipulated. They are facing someone who has discovered their own authority, someone who is prepared to step forward without hesitation. You must remember that fear is a mirror. Their fear of you is not based on lies. It is based on recognition. They recognize your potential, your strength, and your alignment. They see what's written on your life, even if they refuse to speak it aloud. And that recognition unsettles them because it forces them to confront their own lack of courage. Every time you rise, it reveals the areas where they stayed stagnant. Every time you speak, it highlights the times they stayed silent. Every time you act, it reminds them of all the moves they were too afraid to make. But their fear is not your limitation. It is your confirmation. If they weren't afraid, it would mean your presence carried no weight. If they weren't uneasy, it would mean your actions didn't matter. But the truth is, your very existence has shifted the atmosphere, and your next step will amplify that shift. That is why you must no longer hold back. Their fear cannot dictate your timing, your pace, or your decisions. You have been prepared for this moment, and hesitation now would only delay the victory that is already aligned with your name. Think of how your journey has unfolded. Look at the scars you carry, not as marks of defeat, but as evidence of survival. Look at the wisdom you've gained, not as random lessons, but as tools for the battles ahead. Look at the resilience you embody, not as a side effect of hardship, but as the very foundation of your destiny. This is why your next move will not be fragile. It will be decisive. It will prove that nothing in your past has the power to erase what's coming. They fear your next move because they know it will echo beyond you. It will inspire others to rise. It will open doors for those who've been watching you quietly, and it will dismantle lies that have been spoken over your life. Your move will not be isolated. It will be multiplied. And when it happens, it will be clear that all along, every storm, every delay, every rejection was leading you here. So step boldly. Move forward with unshakable faith. Trust that you are aligned, that you are equipped, that you are ready. Do not let their fear seep into your spirit. Use it as fuel. Because when you finally make your next move, it will not just change your story. It will confirm what destiny has been declaring from the very beginning. You were always meant to rise, and nothing, no one, and no fear could ever stop you. They fear your next move because it will shift everything. You've been tested, refined, and prepared for this exact moment. Walk boldly into what's already yours, because the story written for you cannot be stopped. This is only the beginning of your unstoppable rise.